Hello guys, and welcome to Jacqueline Ann Designs. And I wanted to drop by and just kind of see if do a sort of a craft with me video, which I realize you won't be crafting with me because you don't have, this is just kind of a spontaneous little project. I wanted to show you the cover that I ended up, because if you watched any of the other videos, you saw I made several, and I'm actually even going to be making some more of different styles, and I'll be sharing those with you on video as well. But the one that I'm going to end up using, because we're doing the paper bag project, is this one that I decided. And you can see I put the fabric spine on it. And then it's got this paper with the gold music and the kind of a pine green colored snowflakes on it. And then the inside, talk about those when we start getting the signatures ready. The inside is just another type of music paper. And then I use this, I'm holding it upside down. I use this fabric remnant that I had that has different Christmas statements and Christmas words on it. Although you don't end up really seeing that much of that. That would make a good outside spine as well. So anyway, so that is the cover that I am planning on using for our, even the quote-unquote fall project, okay? Now, I've been doing several different types of collage with you for a certain look of ephemera that I wanted. And I also want, since it's Christmas, I thought some of the collage where things look like stained glass might be kind of fun to do. And I have a whole stack of this vintage black paper. Oh, and it's from a vintage photo album. I didn't think there was anything in it. Oh no! Can't lose those stamps, I need them. I don't know how old that is. This photo album, I don't know how old it is. Now I'm curious, is there anything else I missed in here? Sorry. Curiosity. Okay, no, that was the only thing. It was stuck up in the spine because I just took the spine apart a little bit ago. Okay, so now you know those old photo albums, antique photo albums, a lot of them were just strung with string. They had a cover on the front and the back. This one had a carved leather cover, which I think I'm going to use for the cover to another journal. I think I'm going to make some little traveler's journals out of them. But anyway, and the paper, even though it's antique paper, it's very sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Now, what it is I'm going to be doing something with these Christmas, these are faux Christmas stamps. Some of them I made myself out of something. Some of them I downloaded as Christmas stamps off the internet. I think most of this group here that I have I downloaded, you know, they're digital downloads. So anyway, and what you do is you don't have to have uniform shapes to do this, because anywhere that if you think about stained glass, what it is it can be all sorts of very dramatic pictures to very simple. But the thing that's always common about it is that they use the black lead in between. And that's why I use pretty much, for me anyway, I guess you could do stained glass collage on regular paper and then somehow, you know, use different mediums and cover in the black. Or you could even prepare a page with black gesso and then collage on top of that. But this is so much easier, so much less messy, and it'll turn out really nice. And I've got this vintage black paper, so why not make some good use to it? Now, one of the things I want to be sure is that here on the edge, I'm going to put this ruler here, and because of those holes, but because I'm using square, pretty much square, I don't think any ink I put on here is going to show up, but let's see. I just want it to kind of be pretty well an organized, yeah, I can see it very well. You may not be able to on the camera, but basically I put a line here in the paper, and that's going to be my edge of the paper. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing is leaving a frame around this particular stamp. And I've got this piece of paper that I kind of messed up over here. It's some of the manila paper that I like to use. So I'm just going to use this side as my glue paper. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, I had always said that there was a glue stick that was my absolute favorite glue stick, that it's the one that I had the best luck with, and that's the one that I'm starting with today. Okay, so you just put it on there as straight as you can. And like I say, they don't have to be square. I'm actually going to be doing some with some octagonal shapes, hexagons, I guess, that I have. So, and it's more interesting if they're not all the same length and exactly the same shape. I mean, mine are all going to be squares, rectangles, that type of thing, for this particular collage, but they're not all the same size. And I just think that'll add a lot of interest to the page when we're done, when we get ready to turn it into ephemera. So let's see, we're gonna go down here and see where you do, just leave a little bit of space between this one and the other one. And that's like the lead, you know, the black lines that are on your stained glass. Okay. Now, let's see. That probably wouldn't be a good idea there because I'm never going to be able to fill that space. I think we will use that one. That's a Christmas poodle. Okay. Now, other people, you have their favorite glue sticks, but I saw this one recommended by another junk journaler after I had been through several and had the glue crumble. The school ones for me that they have for the kids, they're made to be washable and stuff, but they just don't work for this particular thing as far as. But what I use is this one, and hopefully it's not backwards on the film, but it's the Scotch Create glue stick, multi-purpose. It says it's permanent and photo safe, which means, you know, the acid base in it if you're into that. In junk journaling, you use so many papers and different things that are not acid free that seems to me to pay extra for acid free supplies. It's just kind of a waste. I mean, when you look at the papers and things that I have found and bought when I was collecting antique manuscripts, none of that stuff was acid-free. And yet here we are, 600 years later, and we have it. I even, you know, you wouldn't believe how old some of the stuff I had was. And it all depended more on the quality, it seems to me, of the paper that they printed on, whether or not that book was still around for me to use and to enjoy for this or not. Okay, now, so I think you can kind of see what we're doing here. And I am really hoping that with these shapes of these stamps and everything that I have enough to really get everything all filled in. This is a little Cupid doll in a stocking. I had a Cupid doll when I was a kid. Okay. Since I don't know if this will all end up on the same one or not, but I really don't want to put another candy cane there. I think I'm going to go for the little angel. Let's see. And you do need to, no matter what glue stick you use, and no matter how fantastic everybody says it is, you need to use several layers of it, several layers of coating. Okay. Now you can see how this one is a little bit longer than the other one. So we'll see how that turns out in the end. And it's okay to do a little bit of planning and structuring. Like, I really think having something like that in there, if I have any of stamps small enough, but yet at the same token, it makes my dark line too big. So let's just keep on looking. Let's try them all out, because I need some other shapes. And I don't want them all in a line, if you know what I mean. So, not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. Well, I've got a lot of different ones with candy canes. Some of them are duplicates and some of them are not. He's really cute, isn't he? Oh, now see, he's going to add an interesting line there. Okay, so I'm going to put him right there. I don't know if that's Rin Tin Tin, but it's a dog, and in his mouth he's carrying a paper that says Merry Christmas. Special delivery, United States. All right, so let's glue him up. I know I just keep talking about the weather, but it really is enjoyable right now. I'd say that first walk with my puppy in the morning is not so much fun. It's a little cold. But all you have to do then is wait like an hour and go out, and voila, what have you got but this wonderful, wonderful weather. Let's put him in there, Santa Claus. Now I've got my vintage ink here in case I need it, but so far I really haven't felt compelled to put it on any of the stamps. Now I know there's white areas along in here, and so I may go over it with one of my daubers with some ink later, but I decided that I could decide that later. Okay, my fingers are sticking. Republic Française. All right. Let's see here what we have. Oh, she's cute. That's in another language I don't recognize at all. Oh, look at that one. That one's not sideways. I thought there for a minute I had a sideways one. Okay. They're all up and down mainly so far. What I'd really like is a sideways one. May not be so lucky to have one. Here's one. British Columbia, 3 pence. I think we will put that one there. It's a little small, but I think in the end it'll work out fine. And it's just a collection of different Christmas presents. So my little black area in there is going to be a little bit too large. Let's see. Oh, looky right there. Now that's nice. I don't think, no matter what I do, that I'm going to end up with no spaces anywhere. Just looking at this, I think that's going to end up being where little decorations end up having to take place in the end. We shall see. All right, let's see. And while it doesn't look much like stained glass on here, usually once you do your ephemera, it kind of does end up looking like that. And it's almost easier to do with things that don't have a definitive picture, that, you know, like a paper that you are cutting to the shape that you want to fit in your stained glass, or to the picture you're ultimately trying to paint in the stained glass. And so I think by my using these stamps, I did have made it a little bit more difficult on myself. Okay, we're gonna put that one there. And that one's got a bird. It almost looks like a cardinal, but not quite. It's postmarked from Hollywood, California, 1977. You know, that one's got so much white around it, I am going to use a little ink. Okay, see, that kind of definitely made it look older, and it took away from the white. Alrighty, here we go with some more glue. I tell you, one thing I'm learning is about the light issues. I'm in the process of moving, and my overhead light, some of the bulbs have burnt out, and I take some sort of, instead of taking regular light bulbs, it takes some sort of a specialized light bulb. And I don't know if it's the shortages that everybody's having. I cannot find a light bulb that fits that thing. So, don't have the best light in here. And boy, was that really evident on my last video. Oh my goodness, you could not see. I'm gonna put that one aside because that's a sideways. That's really cute. There's a lot of really cute ones. One flew off down there, so, but I think we're actually going to have extra. Now, we've already got one like that one on, so I'm going to try not to repeat them. Okay, let's put that one there. Once again, we're not going to have all perfectly sized black lines like I like to do with this, but I think we're going to end up with some really cute ephemera. And then what I'll do is get some of the hexagons cut out, and I'll come back in the next day or so and show you how to do that. And then I'll also do some free form for you, maybe at the same time. Let's kind of plan before we go, because I don't think there's any way I'm going to come out without those spots with this. So and this is not a set in stone plan, because I may end up doing something different later. And I'm probably going to do more than one of these postage stamp sheets. I'm just not going to make y'all suffer through it all on the video. Alright, I love this little boy in his sled. I do not know if you can see it, but he definitely needs some ink. There's a lot of... And I remember when I was trying to cut him out, I was having some difficulty getting him just because of the location he was on the paper that I was cutting him from. getting him cut out without any kind of... I like to not have everything so regimented. Let's see. Oh yes, mushrooms. Oh, that's cute. Now the end of our paper may be right in here. Let's see what happens. Because say when I get done, there can always be some decoration put right there if I end up with a space. Which I am going to. Wonder if I've got one that's not quite, that's long but isn't the same subject matter as I've already got there. I mean, she doesn't look exactly like the other little girl, so I guess we could go ahead and put her in. He's really cute. Gosh, guys, I wish you were here in person. You could help me decide. All of these are up and down. There's none that are sideways. Two green ones right next to each other. Nothing I end up doing gets rid of that spot up there. So I think we're going to have to accept that spot's present. And then I don't really want two green ones together. What about this one? Yeah, there, I think that's better. Okay. Yeah, everything can get moved down just a little bit. And then that'll fit in there good. There's just a lot of space. So this isn't exactly the stained glass collage that I was hoping for, but it will work. And I think you guys get the concept. And this is going to make some cool ephemera, so... All right, let's finish getting it glued down. I actually want some ink on this guy, this blue Santa. Okay, let's get him glued down. Okay. Okay. It'd be cute to do one all with Santa stamps. There's enough of them here between this set and another stamp set that I could print up that I could probably do that. It'd be really cute. Now I'm going to do this one with ink, and it's simply because that stamp, I don't know if I was sleepy when I cut that out, but it's pretty, and ink really can hide a lot of ills. All right. Let's go ahead and I use these pages. Let me put this down for a minute. I use these pages that I have used to glue on for certain things. And when the glue gets to be too much here on the inside, I just simply glue the page up and fold it. Don't care if it's perfect. And matter of fact, it's always far from perfect. That's probably the worst I've ever done. But anyway, all right. Let's get this one glued down. That one truly may not work. All right. Now, I have seen some people that get so good at doing this that they have been able to create complete stained glass church windows. And just some gorgeous, gorgeous things with it. So I just kind of want, and I'm not that good at it, as you can obviously see, but it's a technique, it's a type of collage that's out there that I thought it might be fun for you guys to know. Now the other thing is that you wouldn't necessarily have to do this all postage stamps. And then you would actually be able to cut paper or tear paper, whatever you were ending up as your indigo project, to fit so that there was never any little spaces there. Okay? Alrighty. I know a lot of people don't like to use digital downloads and DigiKits. For me, I am just really thankful they exist. And the reason is because some mediums, especially when you get started, they're expensive. And I can go down and download into Etsy. And when I first started, all of the e-kits were like 99 cents. Then about a year ago, everything went up to $1.99 or $2.99. And right now, you'll see them $6, $7, $10. Now, a lot of it depends on what is in them, you know. Uh-oh. Something isn't coming out right here. So we'll see. I did not have that space. There before. So I may have to cut something. I may even cut some stamps to put into those spaces. You know, and because, you know, when you cut these out and make them into the ephemera, you know, you don't cut it based on where the stamp is sitting anyway. And you'll see what I mean when we do it. Matter of fact, the more I sit here and think about it, the more I feel pretty certain that I'm going to be doing that. So, just a sliver here, a piece of one for in here, one for in here, and so far, something up there. And since I kind of moved these and forgot where they were all laying, could totally end up that I end up with something somewhere else as well. Like right now. Yeah, because I totally messed that up. Yeah, somehow I've already messed it up, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the edges here. And then all I'll have to do is cut them out. You know, when I trim the paper. And that's another nice thing about DigiKits. You're not really wasting an antique stamp when you end up doing something like this. Yeah, because I just print out some more. And for me, even though I love using the antique things, just like this antique paper, this isn't necessarily all about antiques. It's more about a style of journaling to me than it is actually about real antiques or using trash. And you'll hear people arguing about that on the different groups on Facebook and social media, getting downright mad. That's not a junk journal. I say don't get your panties in a wad. And I'm going to kind of tuck this under, actually. Yeah. All right. Because I don't mind that being too long. I'll do the same with this one here on the side, just so that glue doesn't stick all to my table pad, my craft mat. Okay, and kind of messed up my best laid plans of mice and men, didn't I? So we'll put that one, even though I'm putting it in upside down. This is the little mushroom one. People make whole junk journals dedicated to mushrooms, guys. And there are some of them I have seen are just really cute. I'm telling you that you can do these things in this style for just about any of them. Now, I think for this one up here, $5 stamp. Oh. We're going to use this one though, even though it's really big. It'll hang off. We'll put it around the back and then we'll cut it. Okay. It actually does that one, since we made the decision that we're not really being wasteful. Me, I'm not. All right, now we need something right in here. And what color family do we want to use? What about cutting that little puppy in half? Sorry, little guy. Now, like I said, just remember, the ink gets rid of all mistakes if you okay. Save that part of him. Okay. I really wish I had gone ahead and planned that I would cut these up ahead of time and that these were further down. because I don't really have one that would fit in there. So I think I'm going to have to just chalk that up to experience. I mean, more than likely when I cut, you know, some of this is going to get lost in cut lines. As a matter of fact, let's try cutting it now. And just to see what happens, let me grab my cutter. I think it's dry enough. The first thing I'm going to do is cut off along that line that I drew. And just put the line right along where your blade hits. All right. Now, all right. And I think I want to cut off just a very sliver of this edge. Just due to that what we were mentioning. And the same down here. See if I got it short enough yet. No. But I need to also kind of trim this edge just slightly. But it's still not going to make it quite ready for that trim yet. So. All right. Now, I like for mine to be like 3.5 inches. So I'm famous for making a lot of these crooked. So just look at the top measure mark here and the bottom, 3.5 inches. And I think you can see what I was talking about. You end up with it cut anyway. Okay, now 3.5 inches. Alrighty, there. That one's clear. And then we're just like that. All right, that helped. It's just I've still got that spot there. But like I say, that'll probably get decorated. And this is the one on the end that I finally decided to let the stamps be a partial stamp. And so this is the one that ended up with nothing true dramatic out of place on it. Now I like for mine to be 6 inches long. So the next thing to decide is which end is going to be my 6 inches. And I think it's going to be this end. It just has to do, oh, messed up on the, anyway, it needs a little glue there. Okay. All right, so that'll be a tag. We'll decorate this up and make a little corner thing out of it. Now, which end here do I want to be my 6 inches? I really love that Santa end there. I like the whole thing on this one, but let's go for that being our top. So 6 inches. I actually am going to make this one a little bit shorter, and that has to do with that too large of a black space there. Okay, see, that one still has the space there, but like I say, I know that I will be making, and then we ended up with another one that will make ephemera out of that. Okay, now we do the same thing here. I want that end, I guess I'm a Santa gal. I want that end to be part of my 6 inches. And the reason that it ends at 6 inches is because of how tall and wide and different things like that my journals are. Okay, so there's my bigger ones. You can see there's still different sizes, and I don't know yet if I'll make them into tags or if I'll back them with something and make them into journaling cards. So, and then I ended up out of that sheet of paper with these little cards as well, which I will make ephemera from. And they're gonna go into my stack of stuff over here. And then the next video, I'm gonna do some of these out of the hexagons, and then perhaps we'll do a little decorating to see exactly what we wanna do. Because you know, with collage, one reason some people don't like collage is you end up covering some of it up. So That's one reason I'm not worried about that spot. I don't know what I'm going to put there yet. I don't know how I'm going to decorate these yet. I just know I wanted to incorporate these Christmas stamps. So that's all for this video, guys. I know it's not as long as the others, but we do need some short ones sometime. And it was a project that is much quicker than some of the others. So without further ado, I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.